folks. It is TGIF. It is noon, so it is officially Friday afternoon, and we are getting launched here. Welcome to the Bullet Points pregame show. We are just about 30 to 35 minutes away, likely from tip-off of UB Bulls against Akron in the semifinals of the MAC tournament in Cleveland. Joined by Rob Ryan, our panelist, our co-host, our leading guy. With that said, we got some action right now, Rob. We have Ball State shooting some freebies. They're currently up 66-61 on number one seeds leading. You never want to scoreboard watch, especially 30 minutes before your game, but this has to be something. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Sharky. I don't care if it's Blair. I don't care if it's Teddy Basketball. I don't care. Someone has their eyes out there watching this game right now.
Oh, there's 100% some coach blended in all that blue that's getting ready for that UB game in a half hour, like you said. Someone is out there. It's definitely not Coach Jack. It's definitely, obviously, players may be lurking in the side, like backstage, right, getting ready to go warm up. But there's one of the coaches is definitely sitting front row in that arena, getting ready to see if we win today, who will we facing tomorrow morning.
Seriously, and again, they have 3 more games after this one, so it's probably going to be quick action, quick changes as we go here. Again, with the idea of no OT, we have a 5-point game. Looks like Toledo has the ball with 35 seconds to go. I won't spoil Rob, who I know is 3 to 4 seconds behind me. Yes, but Toledo will be inbounding the ball. But yeah, a lot of things in play here with Toledo being 19-1 in conference. So we'll obviously track this. And we'll obviously talk about the unfortunate L yesterday that the men took. It was a very interesting game. Rob, real quick, just the thoughts on the game before we get back to the whole season here.
Yeah, the first half, it was good, but it could have gone better because Akron was struggling, and you knew in that second half they'd pick it up. And we were playing great defense, some of the best defense we've seen all year, but their offense was just not clicking at all times. They went on their typical runs like they do that with the scoring droughts, and they just couldn't pull ahead in that first half. And once we saw that buzzer beater hit at the end of half to tie the game, you just knew that it wasn't going to be pretty. And then the second half, like we saw, Akron came out firing. They got up to that 10-point lead, shooting almost 60% from the three-point line. And then somehow, some way, the bench came in and lit a spark for this team, which we haven't seen all year long. Keyshawn was hitting threes. Trayvon Fagan was hitting threes. And they brought it all the way back. And then with a minute left, I think Whitesell just didn't know what to do, if he should keep his bench in, bring back his starters who have carried this team all year long. And unfortunately, you get that one play with 38 seconds left, tie game, and they're blocking Jonathan William with 3 people. So they had to revert, and they have a Keyshawn Bruden just off balance 3, which looked good at first, but I don't know why.
He looked good, and he was feeling confident, and he was playing well, like you said. It was a crazy dynamic because you hate to say it, and this isn't a reflection on their careers as UB as whole. Mbala and Segu were not getting it done yesterday, unfortunately. So I think if they stuck with them, there probably wouldn't have even been a comeback to speak of. So in that regard, I just want to give a kudos to Jim Whitesell. I know that fans of the program won't love that. They won't love to hear a kudos to Jim Whitesell out of the gate. But with that said, he did pull the trigger. He made a tough call and took the starters out who had gotten them there all year for the bench, which had been shaky at best all season, right, Rob?
Yeah, he did make a right call, but I still am with most of
everybody. And then that's why I bring it up, because immediately after the game, listen, we're not blind. We're not crazy. We're not like, we can read, and I just want to say this. I've interviewed Coach Whitesell. We've had the privilege of having him on this programming and everything. Class guy. But you can't control how the fans react. And the fans were calling for his head after the game yesterday.
Oh, I don't think we really saw many positive things after that game yesterday. He, like you said, he made the right call to bring the bench in, but once the bench was performing, he had no idea what to do. I don't think that was the call, like we said, to give it to Keyshawn Bruden. We all could see that they were trying to get to Nathan. He was being triple covered. There's nothing else he could do, but He's
And truthfully, with if you have Jonathan at least being double covered, you'd probably rather just get the ball to Rondo in that situation for the decision making and the pliability of the offense, right?
yeah, and they did. It was in Rondo's
And this
hands,
is what
and
March Madness is. These guys played for years for UB. They have great memories, and we'll talk about those real quick. By the way, Toledo ball, they're still down 5 here, so they made a layup, but Ball State was able to cut. This could be a little while. This could be going on for, depending if Toledo can make some buckets. They're going to drive here, and Rob sees that the bucket is good for Toledo. So it's 68-65. Ball State leads. They'll have an inbounds play with 24 seconds to go. Again, hate to keep mentioning it, but these are huge implications, Rob. You know the deal with 19-1. But just talking about the men's, yeah, and then obviously you hate to see it because, listen, I watched Ronaldo Segu working in the gym every day on those threes, every single day. And you know how bad when he pulled up with the buzzer about to go that I wanted that to hit, and all Bulls fans wanted it. That looked like it was online too.
both of those shots, like he's from Bruden and Rondo, they looked like they were good. Even Rondo's was even better. I mean, it looked Keyshawn's how it was almost going in looked better, but the way he shot it didn't look better. Rondo, he got a great look, and maybe a hand in the face, but he was able to get up and make that perfect shot. And it's just it's an unfortunate way to see two of the most hardest working Bulls ever to put on the uniform lose in that type of fashion to Nathan Williams and Rondo.
Yeah, no, very difficult. And, I was just thinking because I think we play the clip in our preview thing, but there's obviously them dancing at the 2019 men's final. And you can remember, Rondo was a freshman that year, right?
And Nathan.
Rondo was a freshman, and Nathan was a freshman. And Rondo was the one dancing on the table after they won the tournament or whatever. All the, the seniors, the other guys are just like enjoying his vibe. So, it was so funny because unfortunately looking back, you thought, oh my gosh, this could be the start of like something so great with Jonathan, Rondo, all the pieces coming in that everyone was excited about. So you hate to see it. It's not a reflection on those two guys because let's face it, right? If we had 10, oh, by the way, Toledo, Ball State misses a free throw. So we got Toledo down 4. They're bringing it up court. I won't spoil it for Rob who's watching. Toledo grinding.
Oh.
And we got a foul.
But yeah, I mean, you really, like you were saying, if Nate Oates, he was definitely going to be gone in between these 4-year stretch of they were being here.
Yeah.
But it just all goes back to Allnut hiring Whitesell. And I know the reports is that they both would have left if it wasn't Whitesell. But now what? Now you have a team without Jonathan, without Mbala, maybe Rondo. Supposedly he has not made up his decision if he's coming back or not. But no way we see Jonathan or Mbala come back. You have no team whatsoever right now. And the recruiting, you have to hit it hard at the JUCO level because if you're gonna bring in freshmen, this is gonna be a rebuild and we're gonna get back to the Reggie days. If Whitesell continues to be this head coach for years to come.
That's the talk on the UB forums, right? Is that this could be back to the pre-Hurley days before you know it. And that's obviously upsetting to a lot of Bulls fans. Yeah, it is upsetting. That was the decision, right? It was you keep and everyone can play revisionist history, but the vibe was if you let Whitesell go and hire somebody else, you were going to basically lose the cupboard. You're going to lose the pantry of all the talent that UB had. You were facing a rebuild right away. Now, ultimately, call a spade, though that group couldn't bring another championship, which is what this program ended up being all about after the runs 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, what they evolved to. So, yeah, it's upsetting and ultimately not what you want. But with that said, not a reflection on, the players specifically. I think obviously Mbala would have preferred to have a stronger year overall based on the expectations coming in. But so would the UB team as a whole. So not much you can do there. By the way, not much you can do there. We got Ball State, I believe, inbounding up 3 on Toledo. 7.1 seconds to go. This is big, Rob. This is the nitty gritty. This is what it comes down to. If Ball State can execute here, basically game over.
Yeah, and this would be a huge upset. I mean, everyone saw Toledo with 19-1. Their only loss to the team they beat yesterday. There was not many people expecting them to lose in the semis, but I mean, this is March. Anything can happen.
And Ball State gets the inbounds, and they'll be fouled less than 5 seconds to go. Ball State going to the line to shoot 2 up 3 on number 1 seed Toledo. This would just about, by the laws of logistics, no timeouts for Toledo. A made free throw ends the game here.
Yeah.
Well, barring a foul on a three-pointer that's made or some flagrant foul, but I mean, come on. And she drains it. The Ball State bench is, really not going that nuts considering the fact that they pretty much just won the game. They're like very casual, which is okay. And she makes the second. It's a 5-point game, less than 5 seconds to go. No timeouts for Toledo. They'll have to inbound a running 3, which I love because you had to do a running 3 with the time of the clock, but it's no good. It's no good. And we have an upset at the women's tournament in Cleveland. Down goes Toledo, who is 19-1 in conference. 19-1 in conference. One of the only teams that UB women's really struggled with this year. And down they go in Cleveland. It just shows, Rob, it's all about March, survive, and advance.
Only about survive and advance. But, hey, remember, we also did lose to Ball State once this year, but it was when we had 5 players. So we'll have to wait and see. We have to win first. Can't look till tomorrow till you win today, and that's hopefully what we're going to do today.
If I had to guess, I would say women's tip is probably going to be 12:40, 12:45. It was supposed to be originally 12:30. They typically put 20 to 25 minutes on, but also obviously they want to get these games going because that game is going to end at 3 o'clock, and you still got to get 2 games in.
That one doesn't start till 5, the men, so they have time.
Okay, all right. Fine, Rob. Oh, yeah, I forgot. They do the super late night one for the men's. That was the one UB was playing in on Crush CMU Friday in 2019, right?
No, they were the early one.
The last game. They were the last game of the night.
No, they weren't. They were the 1 seed. They played the first game.
All right. Well, that's fair. That's fair. Speaking of this game, give me your keys. We got UB. We got Akron. We got the MVP matchup. We have all been waiting for. I could watch it over and over. But today is the day, Rob, to channel that vibe. We need that Dyaisha Fair. We need that gun in the bullet in the chamber. I hate to make a gun reference. I do. But with that said, it is time to fire on all cylinders. With that said, is it about riding the defense like they did in the first game? What are you seeing on this in this matchup?
I mean, as you know in basketball, defense turns into offense. So you always have to rely on the defense, especially with a Felicia Leggett-Jacks-led team. She prioritizes defense. She knows that defense wins championships, and that is what is going to win today. And if we win today, that is also what's going to win tomorrow. It all starts on the defensive end.
Seriously, it does start at the defensive end. So obviously, we got Dyaisha Fair looking to prove her MVP ability again in this matchup. With that said, we're talking about the keys. We've always talked about it all year. Bench scoring and balance. So with that said, they got double digits from Jasmine Young in game 1. What are you looking for to get that balance in game 2? A big game from Summer Hemphill. You were predicting 20-plus boards in that first game.
No. I said once this tournament.
Oh, you bundled the whole
thing.
That is fair. That is fair. She did it in the championship last time. So
yeah, I mean, she has at least 2 more games. You're hoping it's more than 2 more games, but she is going to put everything that she has into these next, especially today. She's going to put.
Hold on, we got 40 minutes. That's what's guaranteed, Rob, and we need to take care of this 40 minutes. Someone's getting flustered. Someone's getting ahead of themselves.
I'm knocking on wood. She's going to put everything she has towards this game because there is no tomorrow if you don't win today. And Summer Hemphill knows this. She's experienced before. Yes, she does have a MAC championship. She has lost and made to the tournament, but there's no guarantees making the tournament a loss. So the only way to go dancing is to win this tournament. And Summer Hemphill is going to have to put her best foot forward because she's the super senior. She's been here 6 years. She's left a legacy just like Coach Jack has also left a legacy on this program. And she does not want this legacy ending in a bad way. So I think Summer's going to have a great game. But bench performance, we need Addie. Addie, the flex. She's that I can't think of the word. She's the factor on the bench that could just change this game up.
She's the pliability of the team. She's the glue. She's the she brings it all together.
She's the voice of the team. A lot of the time, she has that really loud voice. She's not afraid to take leadership, and when she's dominating in all cylinders, there's no one that can stop us really. When you have Summer dominating, when you have Addie dominating, those rebounds are huge, especially with guards. If you don't, maybe you're not having the best day from Dyaisha, maybe you're not having the best day from Georgia. If you're getting the rebounds, you're getting more opportunities and second chance points, wins or lose games half the time. So you need that secondary scoring from the bigs. And I mean, hey, if we're going to see another double-digit performance by Jasmine Young, that's another bench piece, which is very hard to stop when you're having multiple people that can score double digits each night.
I know that she flirts with the starting lineup, but Lauren Christie, big game alert.
Lauren Christie also. I was not a huge fan of Lauren early on in the season, but she is since becoming one of the starting five.
She put you in a blender. You tried to take a stance against Lauren Christie, and she said she will not be boxed in. She literally started dominating the second you put her on the burner.
Once she got into that starting five, she has been unstoppable. She has that mid-range shot. Mid-range jumper.
Let's go.
Yeah, the mid-range jumper that is unstoppable. It looks just so smooth. She's playing better defense than she was early in the season. She's getting the rebounds. This team is just outstanding all around. And then to have one of the best players in the country leading this team,
don't talk about that yet. What we got to talk about right now is they came out and they played great defense. They took care of Western Michigan, okay?
I mean, that defense.
But how do you re-up that it factor? And again, I know we talk about the one-on-one matchup, but we're about to get to that in a second. But how do you re-up that it factor for the team? Because when UB beat Central Michigan in 2019, it was a team thing. Sierra had her moments, but it was Hannah Hall hitting that big three down the stretch. It was the Summer rebounding. It was Courtney Wilkins. It was Brittany Morrison. It was Teresa Onwuka. All these big names that brought a championship to UB. How do you re-up that it factor if you're Coach Jack and the staff?
I mean, you got to, like I've been saying, you got to have that well-balanced scoring. You need Georgia to have a great game. Freshman of the year. She's on that level where she can get to there. You got, like we already mentioned, we got Lauren Christie. We got Jasmine Young. Dominique Camp. Remember, she is a elite passer, which even has a shot, which teams don't cover her. When she's making her shots, they still don't cover her. And when she's making her shots, it's just you have at least all five on that starting lineup to make shots. Even when Dominique's not making her shots, she is like I said, an elite passer. 16 assists in her first ever start. I mean, she's making passes behind the back. She's making passes through the legs.
That's what they like. I don't want to give Akron the scouting report here, but you could tell they were really liking Dyaisha off the ball, especially in that first quarterfinal matchup. That was where she really got cooking, where UB was able to go on that run and put a chokehold on that game.
Oh, and if you could have your best guard, your best scorer off ball, not having to get a lot of energy going up and down the court or up in court with the ball, you could just find her, you can run her around, get her wide open. That's going to just lead to more success. And that's what I love that Coach Jack has been able to find Camp to be able to be the person. Even Georgia could bring it up to find other people besides Fair, which we've had in the last couple of years, which was Fair bringing it up and more and having to be on the bench more. She could play a good 35, 36 minutes and not get tired because she's not the one bringing the ball up, and it just opens up the court for her.
Speaking of Fair. Jordan Dawson versus Dyaisha Fair. You know she was looking at that bracket and she saw that this was a collision course. We talked about poetry in motion, folks. We said it is shaping up just like 2019. What did they do in 2019? A dominant defensive performance in the first half to take advantage of that game and eventually move on to the next round. What happened next? It was MVP versus who the real MVP, as Sierra Dillard put Raina Frost and CMU down on their way to the finals. Dyaisha Fair has a chance to do the exact same thing today, Rob.
And I think she's going to do it. I mean, there's no one better in the last 3 years in this conference, maybe even mid-major basketball, better than Dyaisha Fair, and she still does not have one player of the year. She may not show it, but she's
seriously, it's going to be the most bizarre thing and they're so, this is dumb. This is just so dumb by Max Sports. There is a player who has had your conference in the top 10 in scoring the last 3 seasons, and you have not recognized them once, despite them constantly shining, constantly being the best. So that'll be their own loss, because that was a chance for national acclaim, national recognition, and they missed it.
I mean, she may not show it. Maybe Coach Jack isn't saying anything, but she's mad.
She's Jordan factor. She's using it for fuel right now.
She's playing for something other than that MAC championship. She's playing to show this conference who the real MVP is, and it's not Jordan Dawson. It is Dyaisha Fair.
So with that said, D Fair over under 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists. This would essentially be a 24-11, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's basically a 30-point game. But with that said, Rob, over under.
I mean, it's a lot, but it's over. Because she is the real MVP. She's going for 30, and this is an easy over. Jordan Dawson, who do you think you are, stealing Player of the Year from the best player in this conference and the best player in mid-major basketball? And we're going to see that when she wins mid-major Player of the Year, whenever that's announced, the Becky Hammon Award. I believe it's the Becky Hammon Award. She is going to easily win that, and we're going to show the MAC who the real MVP is.
Seriously, you better recognize MAC Sports. I hate to say it, Rob, but we're not scared of Akron here on this show. We're expecting UB Women Hoops to roll through. I am expecting a big game across all the boards. 80-73. Jordan Dawson gets some points in the second half, but it's 80-73. Bulls roll. They're in the championship Saturday.
I'm going an easy roll also. Jordan Dawson, obviously, is going to get her point, but it's like we all are saying, Dyaisha Fair is the real MVP. She's going to outscore Jordan Dawson in a 70-9 to 63 victory, and UB is going back to the MAC championship to win another MAC championship and just cement the legacy for Felicia Jack and Summer Henfield.
Seriously, get the banners ready. Get what's that printing service that Paul Preck runs? Make sure we get the printers ready. Make sure the printers are hot for Saturday. But again, it's about this next 40 minutes, because only this next 40 minutes is guaranteed, despite our predictions thinking they're going to roll. Thank you for tuning into the Bullet Points pregame show. Tip-off should be just about 15 to 20 minutes away. UB Women's Hoops tweeting about that Toledo loss, so you know they're fired up. You know their scoreboard watching. You know the Bulls fans are getting. Oh, I got my middle finger. The blur. We got our horns up. It's time to go. And let's face it, there's only time for 4 words.